Yeah, thank you for um, joining this quick session. I mean, I'd like to do a quick intro into mobile testing. Um, there are different types of mobile testing. Say, for instance, we have native applications. Some of the applications requires that you go to Play Store and then install it on your phone. While we have other applications that runs on the phone that we call the web application. Those applications are accessed on a browser. So if you are trying to test this application, you need to be able to identify whether they are web applications or they are native applications. And we can also have hybrid. They are a combination of web and both web and native. So I mean, what we want to do here is a quick walkthrough on how to kick off the mobile automation journey. So if you are very interested in mobile automation or mobile testing, there are a few tools that you can leverage on. One of them, which is the most common of them all, is Appium or Appium. No, I'm not sure the best way to pronounce that. It is a tool used for mobile testing, mobile test automation. So if you want to have mobile Appium running on your PC, you need to go to the website and then download Appium. So can you confirm you can see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, thank you. You can just click on Appium to take you straight to the website. So part of the prerequisites, if you are not sure how to go through this journey, I always encourage you to maximize the AI tool that will guide you in the journey. To set up a PC for mobile mission. Steps. Hopefully, this can be a guide for us. Try to see if this can be as brief as possible. So if you go to the page, you see that to install Appium, all you need to do is to go to your terminal and then add this command here. So it's as simple as that. This npm is a package manager. For part of the requirements for running Appium is that you must have Node.js running on your PC. So if you want to confirm if Node.js is installed, you can type Node and a version. So if you have Node installed, you will see the version here. But if you don't have Node installed, you need to go and install Node. So you come, you look for download Node. You can see it shows you the link. You must have Node installed before you can use Appium. Those are part of the requirements. Those are part of the requirements for using Appium. Also, you must have Java installed too. And this Java must be accessible as part of your environment variable, the system part. You want to know if you have Java installed, you do the same thing in Java versions. Sorry, that's an error there. So see that you see your version of Java. So those are part of the prerequisites before you can use Appium, you want to make sure that you have Java installed. You also want to make sure that you have Node.js. Node.js is, that's what, because Appium runs with more or less like JavaScript or so. Node, it runs on nodes like the server. So then you can now proceed to install Appium. So this is the package manager for Node. The package manager for Node, for Appium. So since I already have it installed, if I try to install it now, it will tell me it already exists. Oh wow, okay, it's trying to install again. But let me see if I can interrupt it. No, I don't want to. So it's most likely going to tell me already installed or something. Or so this is the command for running Appium. npm install -g. This G means global. That means that it is going to be accessible on your PC globally. And you can always check for the version. See here. So it's as quick as that. It has installed it. You can try that command or add it maybe somewhere where you can access it on this video. And you want to know the version that is installed, you say Appium V, it tells you what the version is. So it's also very, very important for you to, although optional, to install an Appium Doctor. So this is Appium Doctor helps you to check for missing dependencies. So this is the command that you use for installing Appium Doctor. I think I already have Appium Doctor installed. To find out this, I'll say Appium-Doctor. It's like assessing the health of your server. Let me see. Appium-Doctor. Let's see. I hope that was the right command. I don't think I did the right thing there. Let's just do Appium-Doctor. Okay, so to assess the health of the server. So basically, the architecture of this whole thing is that you have what we call a server. You have a server, the Appium server. Then you have what we call daemon. Then lastly, you have I think it's called a client or so, or Python client or whichever client you use in accessing it. So what we are trying to set up now is the server. Then the daemon is like what you use to access, let me say, the service. I don't know if that's clear. So your emulator will now serve as the daemon. To make sense very soon. So the next thing we need to do is to set up Android, because globally we have your mobile application can either run on an iOS device or an Android device. Those are the most popular names out there. So, or for the purpose of this video, we'll try to run it on Android. So, for you to run it on Android, you need to install Android Studio. You need to install Android Studio. I already have Android Studio installed, but if you're trying to install Android Studio, you can just go ahead and then download Android Studio. It's a fairly large file, so if you have a strong network, you'll be able to download and install seamlessly. Once you're able to do that, ensure that you add the path to your environment variables, just as you did with your Java path. So you're going to see something like this. This is the Android Studio. It allows you to create virtual devices. Let me also mention that you can run your tests either on a real device or on a virtual device. So to create a virtual device, you need to launch your Android Studio and then click on here it says here create virtual device, your device manager, create virtual device. This will take you to this interface here where you can select. You can see there are different mobile devices you can create. It either be a phone, a tablet. So you can see there's so many options here. Aside from that, you can also choose the size of the device, just like you have it in your real device. And once you finish choosing this, you you would have created a virtual device. So I'm going to launch one that I already have created now, so that you see how the emulator works. So, um, so when you want to connect to a real device, you need to do some settings on your phone, on your real phone. Go to developer option and then enable USB debugging.
Meanwhile, they call you since goods don't come
now. There's something called ADB. So it's part of ADB means
you don't start to the open
the Android debugging.
You don't start to the open
ADB. I think this B should be bridge. Yes, Android debugging bridge. So when you want to find out all the devices that are connected or that are available, you go to your emulator here and say want ADB devices. This will show you all the connected devices. ADB devices. See, so the list here is empty. But if I start off my emulator now, and run that same command, you can see this is how I start my device. I have so many virtual devices here. Let me start the first one. So this might take a while, but if you once it loads, you will see something that looks like an actual phone, or it's a virtual device. Okay, this is taking a while. So with Android, it's called an emulator, but with iOS, it's called a simulator. So just take note of those slides. The difference in the naming for Android and iOS devices. So if you were to run a mobile testing on an iOS, you would need a MacBook to do that. So since I'm using a Windows PC here, I will not be able to launch a simulator. Alright, so like I said, when you want to know all the devices that are available or connected, you type ADB devices. ADB stands for Android Debugging Bridge, and that describes the connection between your server and the client. And in between the server and the client is the daemon. And the daemon is spelled DAEMON. The daemon is like what is responsible for the service, or will I say communicating with the server. Okay, so let me run that same command I wrote, ADB devices. What do you notice? You see, notice that there's one device now has been connected, which is an emulator. You see that now. So now we have successfully connected to our emulator. So we'll just wait for it to finish loading. So we have also successfully installed Appium, but we need to now install what we call Appium Inspector. So we have installed Appium server. So how do you know that the server is running? You type Appium and then you see this is how you start the server, the Appium server. Just type Appium and then to start running. So if you notice on the right side here, my emulator is fully loaded. It's having some, it's fully loaded. All right. So let's go back to the guide here. So it says here that we need to install an Appium client. Appium client is like it can be anything. It can be Python, the way you communicate to the server. In this case, we are using Python. So if you want to use Python to automate your mobile app, to perform the mobile app, you need to install the Python, the Appium Python client. As you can see, the good thing is that you have this command readily available. Just copy and paste, and that will do just.
They always lock this. They lock
It
this
will
thing
do
out.
just that. Okay. So one more thing before we wrap up, I like to you have to download and install what we call the Appium inspector. So one of the things that you do when you are testing on the mobile app is that you want to be able to inspect the app, and then that will help you in running your first script. So this will bring us to the concept of capabilities. So before you can connect to an application and inspect it, you must be able to specify what the capabilities are. So I want you to take a look at this Appium inspector. One of the things that you're going to notice is that it has a host, an IP address that specifies the host. So this is the default IP address where this Appium server is running on, 127.0.0.1, and the port for Android it is 4723, or I think for iOS it should be 4725 if I'm not mistaken. So these are just basic things that you pay attention to. So now, what do we mean by capabilities? Let's go to the Appium site to understand this further. Capabilities. So before you can connect to a particular app, you must specify every app has its capabilities. This particular, and these capabilities include information that speaks to the platform that you are running the app on. So if you notice here, I specified the platform name here as Android, and then the name of the device. Then you also specify the automation name. So we are using UI Automator 2. So these are things that will most likely be the same, except for this Appium, the package, the application package name. So how do you know your application package name? So there is a particular script to know that. I'm not sure if I still have that script here. I saved it somewhere, but I've lost it. Script for determining package name and package activity. Name, package activity. So that we have this. So this script is, once you enter this script, it will tell you what the package name is. So it's going to be looking at the emulators. So this is it. It will be looking at this is what I'm looking for, but I hope this works. If I just copy that script, go back to my my command line and then enter the script. Let's see if it works. So it will capture. So the reason why it's capturing this, that is not specific, is because I've not opened an application. If I were to launch an application now, let's say I come here and I decide to launch Gmail, for instance. So it knows that an application has been launched. If I run that same command, it will capture that application. See the difference? Now you are seeing Gmail. So every application has a package name and a package activity. So if, let's say, you are working on a particular app and you want to discover what the app package name is and the app activity. So you need to, on your emulator, how do you install an app on an emulator? You can do that by clicking and dragging. Let's say I want to install this app. There's a sample app here. I'm not sure if the app works, but just to explain how it works. There's this app I have here. Let me use the one that doesn't work, so that's tried anything. You see, let's say you want to install this app now. What you need to do is to click and drag. It's as easy as that. Just to click and drag the app, it will tell you installing. So usually when you click and drag, it will install the app. It's as basic as that. So, but when you finish installing the app, you want to capture what the package name is. You need to open the app first. You need to open the app. There's a particular app I was working on recently. So if you open up the app,
I've sent to Ideziri.
I shall not cause trouble here. So I don't want to tamper. This is one of my most stable environments. It's not going to open up again. Anyways, okay, maybe because my.
I don't know.
So look at this application now. Let's say this is the application that was sent to you to test. And you need the application package name and the application activity. You have to type in this command. Take note of this command. I'm going to add it on this somewhere in the comments. So, you see, it captures. Now let me explain what the application package name is. See where this com starts from, this com to where this slash. When you made the slash, this is called the application package name. This is the application package name. com.ms square market. This is the application package name. Then after this slash, down to this place is called the application activity. You can see that it ended with a main activity. It's called the application activity. So if I wanted to communicate with this app, for instance, now I need to come. Let me even try it here. Let's create a capability.
Maybe they install so that maybe they won't see anything they did quickly recover. So they will say bots recover.
Okay, so this is what I'm going to do now.
You understand like this?
Okay, so basically this is what happens. Let me create a new one. The application is called mSquare. Okay. Let me copy this.
ChatGPT where they film me. Error. my browser.
Let me copy this and see if it works.
It worked yesterday.
I'll change this. Before I change it, I want to take note of this one so I don't lose it. Okay. I'm going to launch this app on the inspector. Launch this app on this emulator. So this is the package activity, the app activity, app activity. Now, I have to make sure that that app is accessible on this link here. Let's find out. If I do this, let's go and see if it's present there. So no matter where the app is located, you need to okay. Yeah.
Just let me pull one eye for this. Give my credential in case it's in lock again out. Just about.
Taking longer than I expected, but I'm trying to be sure that the app is there. Okay.
Charles.
This is the app I'm trying to.
GPT just
This is the app I'm trying to launch. It's very important for us to. Okay. Let's see if this works now. So the name of the device is still assessment. Still an Android name. But this UI automator is just basically how the mobile app is, how you run your test automation on your mobile app. This is the app packaging. Sorry for the background noise. So I save this. Once I'm able to save this, it will go and look for. So I don't know if you can see. So you have to make sure that your Appium server is up. And you do that by typing Appium. Once you type Appium, the Appium server will come up. Something is wrong somewhere.
In case it's in use.
Okay, it says that it's already in use. That's because why is it already in use? Successfully loaded. That time I installed. Let me close this and open it again. Okay, it's on here. It's on here. So apparently, once it's up somewhere, it will see it as already running. So let's enter this again. Now it's running. So I'll try to see if I can start the application here. I click now, the server is running. This is the Appium server. It's running. It's waiting for activity. Let me click on start session. Based on the capabilities that is provided here, we'll be able to launch that mobile app. You notice now the server is beginning to see ADB. I told you the ADB is the guy that connects the server to the client and engage. So, but this is the Appium inspector now. Trying to now let's look at what's going on the phone on the emulator. I'm not clicking anything. The emulator will definitely notice that a request. You see that something is happening on the emulator. Can you confirm that you can see what's going on the emulator end? Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. So you see now that I've launched that application that is on the phone. It's now in this inspector. So why do you need this inspector? You need it to. It's just like your inspect on your web browser. You know, you want to be able to locate elements on your phone. You can see now you can locate the elements either by experts, by accessibility ID. So there are different selectors by class. You know, if you are coming from a Selenium background, then this will make a lot of sense to you because it gives you um, so you can easily. So, but I don't want to go in depth into writing any script. I just want to give you an intro on starting off with your mobile automation journey. So I just hope that this. So let's see. Let me just walk you through this interface. Say for instance, you want to click on this thing here. You tap on it. It gives you the properties here, and you can see this tap icon here. Allows you to take an action, and that goes in there. So let's just take this as an introduction to. I know it was not so explicit, but I mean this should help us. It should be like more like yeah. You can start from here to start building your test automation script. So you can either decide to use Python, Java. I'm more comfortable with Python, so I use Python. So that means you have to install PyCharm if you want to use Python. You have to install PyCharm. So the uh, next time we'll meet to look at how we can run our first test script on our mobile app. So I have one here, but I'd like us to start from scratch. We'll look at how to run our very first test script on our mobile app. So I hope we are able to learn a few things on this video. If you have any questions, do well to reach out. Is there something that you did not get, or did you
No,
learn
that's
something new?
yeah, that's inspector.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one, yes, there's something new.
All right. So maybe let's start with the installation aspect. See if you can install a few. What are the things that you need to install? Android Studio. And this okay now. I guess the question you want to ask is how did I get this Appium inspector, right?
Yes, is it like it did, or just use the command prompt?
So yeah, very good question there. I like that. So I mean, I just went and downloaded. You're right. I downloaded inspector. There's um a, a zip file like that. Download Appium inspector. It's a zip file. Just went and downloaded it. Inside the zip file, you see the inspector there. Please use this one. Always go for the one for that suits your PC or environment. So this
Okay.
why this for Linux, so you can click for to see look for the one for Windows and go with this one. Depending on whether you're using a 64-bit or a 32-bit.
22.
This one should be better. Anyone, it's either you go with this or you go with the zip, either with the exec file or the zip file. Once
Okay.
the zip file will be downloaded, inside that zip file, you see it has downloaded the zip file. Although I think I already have this downloaded. Yes. Download the zip file. Inside the zip file, you see that inspector as file, then you launch it. So this is how I got the Appium inspector. So
Okay. Thank you.
I think we can end this note. Really appreciate you for
Thank you so much.
just give me a minute. Let me quickly turn this bit recording off.